Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum. Ba-da-ba-da-bum, 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 ba-da-bum, bum, bum. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Colorcast number 41. We are here with our distinguished guest, known as Wes Tank. Give it over Wes Tank, everybody.
Hi. Hi.
Pleasure to have you, my friend. Thank you so much for coming. How you feeling?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Yeah.
So as we all have been doing, and I speak for myself when I say all, been using ChatGPT, the old things. I know these things. I didn't need to look this up.
Oh, yeah.
But I figure, let's see who Wes Tank is.
This is me according to ChatGPT.
So this is you.
ChatGPT? Is this a guy?
You according to Mr. ChatGPT.
This is a guy named Chet.
Mr. Chad GPT.
Chad GPT.
Chad GPT.
Okay.
He's a G.
Is it
and
spelled J-E-E-P?
What is it?
E-E-T-E-E?
No.
Gotcha.
It's Chad
Sorry.
G, like a gangsta G.
Oh, yeah. Got it.
And then just recently went through some physical therapy. So that's what the PT stands for.
Cool. Sounds like a cool guy.
So Chad says, Wes Tank is an American rapper, actor, and YouTube personality. He is best known for his unique style of rapping, in which he recites the lyrics of popular hip-hop songs while incorporating themes from children's books, such as Dr. Seuss and Shel Silverstein. Tank gained widespread recognition in 2020 for his Dr. Seuss Raps video, which went viral on YouTube and social media. He has also appeared in several television shows and movies, including Making a Murderer and American Fable. How much of that is true?
Okay, 2 truths and a lie. Couple lies. No, actually, a good buddy of mine worked on Making a Murderer, so
so maybe it's making a connection.
That's close, but
no American Fable.
No, I don't even know what that is.
Me neither.
Is that it? Okay. Yeah, most of that's
close.
Most of that's pretty accurate, I'd say.
Missing a thing or two, right?
Yeah.
Are you a graduate of the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee?
Yes.
Okay. Did you study theater and film?
Yes.
Have you worked as a teacher and a filmmaker?
Yes. Well, teacher, I mean, yeah, I've worked in schools. I've worked in, like, more of a youth mentor, kind of like the uncle of teachers, where you just, like, come in and you, like...
The cool uncle for teachers?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you don't have to change the diapers or send anybody to the principal's office.
And so, was Story Raps made for Kid Doodle TV?
Kid Doodle TV, yep.
And did you have an artist residency in Betty Brinn Children's Museum?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so I think for you, as far as Wes Tank goes, this second part I've been reading from Google's Bard. Okay. So I think Bard knows you better than Chad.
Bard knows me better. So Chad,
you and Chad need to have a talk.
Chad needs some editor. He needs an editor.
He needs an editor.
But he got some of the main points.
It's getting close, right? It's getting close. It's interesting. But yeah, no, thanks so much for coming on the pod. Yeah. And for
Oh wait, did you read the Bard?
That second part was
the second one was the Bard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of
snuck that in there.
A lot of it's probably coming from, just a lot of the press that was happening around. Yeah. That's Seuss stuff and the Cadoodle stuff.
That's what I figure. And I mean, Google does own YouTube as well. Too,
yeah.
So maybe they got some inside
Yeah, they got to push those YouTube videos, man.
Yeah.
I need those clicks.
That's probably a business model for this. When you look it up, you ask it, then they'll put an ad in your response, right? And then, or like, be like,
does Google do ads?
Yeah, that's their whole business.
What is this?
What is this?
System 5?
Oh, these things?
No, system.
this system is a sponsor of ours. Delicious local seltzer charged with electrolytes. It's the first inclusive drinking system that offers 3 different choices with 0%, 5%, and 8% alcohol option in a variety pack.
Wow.
And what you're drinking right there is the 5%
What's the 5%?
alcohol.
Really? It says electrolyte charged. Oh, hard seltzer. I see. That's the hard.
It's a hard seltzer.
Okay, cool.
So the 0%, we do not have any in, with us right now, but we got the 5%, which is quite delicious. And the middle of the road, I find it's always good to hydrate, and that the electrolytes can help you with the hydration, because as we all know, alcohol is dehydrating. And so when you can hydrate,
So it hydrates you while you're
yeah.
alcoholizing.
yeah,
I thought it
That's
was
the best
milk
system.
fat. I see 5%. When I think percent on a drink, I'm thinking 2%. Milk.
That's a common misconception in Wisconsin when we live around dairy and, we all drink
Right.
whole
Wait,
milk.
is this a Wisconsin company?
It is. Yeah,
Oh.
they're local. They're a local Milwaukee based
I like it.
seltzer, and they brew out of Potosi or distill or whatever it may be. But yeah, you can check them out at System Seltzer or www.systemseltzers.com.
Shout out Potosi.
And shout out to Potosi. Yeah, what a beautiful place by the Mississippi.
Yeah. Heck of a ball club there, too.
Ball club.
I used to play, I still play basketball, but I grew up out there.
Oh, really?
Not in Potosi, but I
okay.
played basketball against them in high school.
Interesting.
Yeah. Heck of a team. Great.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Great. Just
What's
great.
to say? When I think of Potosi, I don't think of basketball. Maybe bar basketball.
Bar basketball?
You know that one? What's that? That game where you shoot in?
Oh, yeah.
At every bar, they have the targets where you shoot the balls in the holes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They're like a little smaller than the actual ones.
I think that brewing company is a big part of that industry in Potosi now, right?
Yeah, I mean, I see it everywhere. I see it everywhere. I like that. I like their brews and their seltzers.
Yeah, so shouts out to System.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, guys, for the delicious hydration.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get into your story here, Wes, for a second. You're a story rapper and a storyteller and a media wizard, and I've seen your name around the city for a few years now, at the very least. I've definitely, once I started engaging in the scene and looking around, there's always some whispers of a Wes or two. Well, just the one Tank, but so I've just found out that you're from around the Mississippi area, around near Potosi. Can you give us a little skinny on like where you came from and how you ended up on this couch here today?
Yeah. I like that you just said I'm from like near Mississippi and
the Mississippi River.
Yeah, but it's the Wisconsin River. So I grew up. I grew up in Dodgeville, Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
Which is, I don't know where Potosi is exactly in relation to that, but it's the southwest corner of the state, right by Spring Green. Beautiful driftless area out there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was a basketball player. Got into filmmaking and rapping in high school, and sort of just got obsessed with that. Before that I was like obsessed with basketball. My dad was a coach, high school basketball coach, and so it was like very intensely basketball focused a lot of my childhood. Although I was always kind of doing art on the side, and just like not really knowing what art was, but kind of like I would draw and write plays and things like that, and just like there were all these like sparks of like there's something going on here, but like where I was from, it wasn't always like really fostered that much, and I loved basketball. I did love that, but that was like way more kind of championed, I guess, sports and stuff like that. And so it wasn't until I kind of got into high school, later in high school, started getting into filmmaking enjoying films of like Stanley Kubrick and John Cassavetes and people that were like inspiring me, and then discovering like rappers like Bus Driver and A$AP Rock and Anti-Con and all of these things. Like I started, and I'm sure it happens for everybody, but it's kind of like, when you start to learn to think for yourself, some happens earlier than others. For me, it happened probably around like junior year of high school. It was just like my mind was starting to break, and just like getting into art and being like, whoa, this is maybe what I want to do. So I decided I went to UW Milwaukee then, for film, and just started like making rap albums in my dorm room, and just like weird rap albums. And
are they published?
Well, they were at one time. I mean, this was MySpace? In like MySpace days. Yeah. Some of that stuff is. I mean, actually, there is some stuff out there that dates back to dorm rooms on my Stumblesome Bandcamp. So I have like 3 different Bandcamps, maybe 4.
There's some deep cuts for anyone listening on Wes's channel. Go start searching.
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
sometimes. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, anyone in the chat, if you guys got some good questions or if you got any comments or anything, feel free to shout it out. Wes is back from a hiatus. He's not fully back. He's gracious enough to come on to the Colorcast to at least talk about what his plans are. He's got a lot of things in the works that we're excited to get a little bit into. But is there anyone out there? Is anyone listening? What do you people? You got some things to say? What do they got? Anthony, they say something?
Lots of emojis from One Big Kid, Sam Brown.
One Big Kid, Sam, what's up?
Rico7 Live.
Rico, hey. What up?
Creative Rat says, Mr. Color.
Hey. Ooh. All the way from Schweistag, Germany. Holstag. Man, I butchered it, man. Those German words.
Man. Yeah. Yeah,
What's up, Steven?
I've been taking a hiatus from live streaming lately because I'm building a studio and it's just gotten too hard to kind of do both, I guess.
Yeah.
So
this is the Washington Park Media Center?
Yes.
Is that right?
That is correct.
And so can you tell us a little bit about that? I'm very intrigued. I know everyone in the Tube Studios here is very intrigued. What you got going on over there?
Yeah.
So we'd love to hear about it.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, this has been something that's been in the works for a few years. I got my sights set on this building like pre-pandemic, and then kind of was in the process of maybe thinking about seeing if I could buy a building. And then pandemic happened and everything got delayed and stuff. And so then right around like last year, my partner and I decided we were going to go in on this, and the owner had reached out to me, and we decided, this is something that I would just have wanted to do for a long time. And stop me if I get too into the weeds with it, but it's been a like huge project.
What, this 2-3 years almost coming on 3 years
since I like got it in my head that I was like that this was something I really wanted to do. I mean, I've kind of always known because I do so much filmmaking and so much music and all of that stuff that I started doing like back in high school and college, like I'm still doing just like on various scales, but like even just kind of how it's just always expanding, but then it's always like coming back to just like making beats, writing in a notebook.
It's always back to creating.
Always back to that. Yeah.
That's what it always.
And now I'm trying to learn how to like make stuff with my hands, and like taking multiple trips to the hardware store and going, and I'm like,
what hardware store?
I don't know if I should say their name on here.
No. Oh yeah, I mean, it's okay. You don't have to. I know.
No money, no honey.
Yeah.
Somebody said that to me once when I was out filming in a. Get at me. Somebody said that to me when I was filming like random stuff out in I was out in Hollywood, actually, Hollywood Boulevard, and there was like a person that was drumming on the street.
Sure.
And I started like filming, and which is like, I don't know, maybe you shouldn't do that. It's getting more and more like
it's legally you got no problem.
Yeah, well, I don't know. In maybe in Milwaukee you can get away with that more, but out there it's like, film. Everybody's filming everywhere, so like it's like you need permits and stuff. But I was like, I was gonna give him something, but I was like filming the guy drumming. He was like, no money, no honey. So I gave him $5. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to start saying that at gigs then.
Yeah, have a little hat out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The honey hat.
The honey hat. Exactly. I like that.
But okay, so this center, what's the overall vision for like how this center's going to go, and how can we utilize it from people and creatives in the surrounding area here in Milwaukee area?
Wow. Well, we're the vision is like a full studio from ideation to production to visual effects, editing, live streaming, hybrid events, and all the way down to like screening it. So we've got like a little projection room.
Oh, cool.
We've got a big marker board wall. We are treating it for sound. We're it's not a huge place. It's kind of it's a little bigger than this, but it's like it's a house. It's a mixed use commercial building. So it has a storefront downstairs and a apartment upstairs, which I live in.
That's awesome.
It's the dream.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I'm finally like starting to like sync it up. It's starting to come together, and it's been a lot of work. But the idea is we really want to make a space where we can create, like, I can make my stuff. We can team can like work from there, but we can also share it with the neighborhood, with the city, with whoever wants to use it, and we can collaborate with a lot of people. And so people will be able to rent space. We're going to have an AV club, so we can have people coming over and just getting people moving through the space and just like showing each other the stuff that they're working on. Something that's like we can have projects going, like get doing field trips, neighborhood cleanups, and just whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But filming it all. Have a little stand-up comedy in the window in the storefront. There's a little stage there, so we can have a little like 1 or 2 person.
That's fun.
DIY shows.
Yeah.
That's not the audience. Well, that could be the audience for that, but it's
Sure.
it's you know what I mean. It's just a small stage in the storefront window, but
Little solo performances or
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's cool. That is
So-
the dream, man. I mean, I'm sure I'm like a lot of folks where you go and you look on Redfin or on Zillow or whatever. You go around and be like, oh, I could turn that. What if I, seeing people that live above, I mean, like Linneman's, type situation where you own that building and then you live above, but you also then own the building next door, and then you get there long enough, right?
Yeah.
And then you can start to build it out and continue to grow and can help the community towards that vision of it sounds like it's a very collaborative, community oriented space.
Definitely.
And so is that so what's the estimation, you would say? Then it sounds like this has been long the works, and it's starting to get to a point where now you're starting to talk about it, you're starting to like resurface a little bit and starting to getting ready to start talking about it. So when's the grand opening, and where's the party, and when can we come?
When's the party? Good question. The question on everybody's minds. It should be soon. I hope for it to be soon. We'll probably be soft opening. Hopefully next month, but who knows?
Oh wow. Okay.
Like once we get everything squared away. It's not. It's one of these things that's going to just keep going. We're going to keep building. We're going to keep working on it, but. kind of the initial phase of construction is almost done, and we'll be able to start at least like, you know, kind of soft open and start at least like working on my own stuff in there, and
Right.
you know, slowly inviting people in and seeing what tweaks need to be made. And you know, sound design is like a process that is like, you know, going, I'm sure you guys know from this space, like it's like you're constantly going to be like
acoustics.
yeah,
Yeah.
acoustics, lighting, you know, getting like, I've been watching so many YouTube videos about just like you know, how to make a studio, like how to make a lighting grid, how to make, you know, sound panels DIY style, and how to just do stuff that's, you know, gonna all be sort of practical, but also like basically be art. You know, a friend asked me recently, like, it's like, so you got any albums in the works? And I'm like, dude, this building is the album. This is like the box set. No, this is I'm building the space where albums will be made.
Yeah.
And I'm still working on music.
Album maker, an album factory.
Yeah, man. I feel like it's been a while since I've actually made an album, which is, you know, kind of sad, but YouTube, you know. Last
Yeah, I
couple of
mean,
years,
you
it's all YouTube.
take the punches when they come rolling in, you know. And so, I mean, a month from now, I mean, if that's just, you know, if that's like the best case, that's pretty awesome. So where can people find out about this? There's a website, or I know there's an Instagram.
There's an Instagram right now with no posts, but it's Washington Park Media Center, at Washington Park Media Center. I mean, if you follow us there, like, you know, that's where, you know, information's gonna drop. But they can, you know, follow my accounts at Wes_Tank. And yeah, and like my production company Tank Think is gonna be based out of there. Okay. And we're gonna be, you know, making lots of cool stuff. We do a lot of work with community groups and nonprofits in Milwaukee, and do a lot of client work. We do a lot of you know, kind of developing projects and stuff. We got a lot of things in the works, and hoping to bring more people into our orbit, and have more community interaction by like sort of being on the ground level. And, you know, just I've met so many people just like working in the storefront, and people kind of walking by. Right now I just love the audience of the person walking by. Sure. Like particularly with dogs, because we're right across the street from Washington Park, and it's like right across the street from the park, and this particular part of it is like a lot of people walk their dogs there. I mean, I'm sure they do all over it, but it's pretty cool. I've already had a couple of neighbors. I've had a couple of neighbors who rap stop in, and, you know, and even one that raps like children's stuff. And I'm like, wow, well that's cool, because I do a lot of children's book rapping. I don't know if, I mean, as ChatGPT mentioned.
Yeah, I'm sure the folks tuning in on your channel now here are aware of it as well. Yeah, I mean, it's great you mentioned. Well, speaking of the folks in the chat, we got any other interesting comments or questions over there?
Yes, Michael Kaiser says, "What's up, Wes?"
What's up, Michael?
And then I Heart Fairies 82. Hi y'all, and
yo,
at Wes Tank, need more Hobbit raps.
Oh,
and then feet emojis.
What's up, I Heart Fairies? That's
And then
that's the homie.
My favorite is Friday night rap practice.
I miss rap practice so much right now.
Well, I mean, would you like to do a little rap practice right now?
Sure.
Maybe it won't be a Friday night.
Yeah,
I don't want to put you on the spot, you know.
I mean, yeah. So for the people that don't know, rap practice is like my Friday night live stream, which I've, you know, had to kind of take a break from right now. Even though it kills me to not do it, it's like there's just been too much going on with all of the building and business and stuff. But I literally just like get a bunch of books from the library and my collection, and just like I have a stack of books, and I just make beats live, and I just go off and I rap the comments in the chat, and sometimes people will send emojis, and just like I'll rap the emojis, I'll rap numbers, whatever people want. Whatever you want me to rap, just let me know.
If anyone's looking for a rapper, I think I know a guy.
No, I keep it clean, family friendly, but we have a lot of fun, and it's a great community of people that show up and just like hang out with me, and sometimes I go like 4 hours, and
wow.
We just like make ideas come alive. Like people will shout out ideas. It's almost like an improv type show where people will throw out ideas, and I'll like riff on that, and I'll like freestyle terribly and just like go on and on and on and on, and it's a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, we can do a little rapping. Yeah.
Is that I mean, I was thinking maybe, well, I mean, they say The Hobbit. I know another great Englishman that it's maybe not Tolkien, but
oh yeah,
but maybe I don't want to. This might be none of this is too difficult to stop me. But what about the great Shakespeare?
Oh, well, yeah, we could.
Can you do that? He's got some good sonnets.
I guess I could try. Maybe I can look it up online.
Well, I can give you a beat if that's all right. Maybe that'll help.
Oh, okay, cool.
Let's see. I don't know if this is coming through. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, there we go. Can we get a little more volume on that, maybe? Something like that, maybe. Is that a vibe?
As an unperfect actor on the stage, who with his fear is put beside his part, or some fierce thing replete with too much rage, whose strength's abundance weakens his own heart. So I, for fear of trust, forget to say the perfect ceremony of love's rite, and in mine own lungs strength seem to decay, overcharged with burden of mine own love's might. Oh, let my books be then the eloquence and dumb presages of my speaking breast, who plead for love and look for recompense. More than that tongue that more hath more expressed. To learn to read what silent love hath writ, to hear with eyes belongs to love's fine wit. Oh, learn to read what silent love hath writ, to hear with eyes belongs to love's fine wit. That's Sonnet 23.
That's fun. Hell yeah, man.
Oh yeah, that's just a little
number 23
year-old poetry bars.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah,
I dig it.
That's yeah. You just cut it.
I mean, we can do more.
Keep going. Oh no, I don't. I mean, I don't have to. I'm. You know.
You got any more?
I do. Yeah, I got more. You got more beats?
I mean,
or you just got the one?
I might have one more. Let's see. What that?
Oh, that's nice.
The question is, do I have a beat for it?
Sonnet 18. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too high the eye of heaven shines, and often is gold complexion dimmed. And every fair from fair sometimes declines by chance, or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou own. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, and in eternal lines to time thou growst. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. Yeah.
Nice.
Bards.
Dropping bards.
Please.
Google's got to take some notes.
Just a little rap for you.
Yeah, that's hell yeah, man. That was fun. Well, that's cool, man. Yeah, so then that's all under I mean, that's that kind of style of just going with reading things that already exist and just practicing and just being out there and being out in the open and practicing all that stuff all the time, 4 hours, twice a week. He said, or every other.
I do rap practice on Fridays, and then I was doing Tuesday study hall on Tuesday mornings, where I would interview authors and
cool.
Sometimes I'd rap from their books, or sometimes I'd read it, or we do.
So you would rap their books in front to them?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Sometimes
that's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I
That must be difficult and sometimes.
I had Inosanto Nagara on, who was the author of A is for Activist, who's like, he's just like an awesome dude, and he came on the show. I had Dasha Kelly, had a lot of folks who were just down to play.
Nice.
Fun. Yeah.
That's fun. So and that's all. Well, you're saying now this Washington Park Media Center,
Mm-hmm.
and you mentioned Tank Think.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got a little video to play of some stuff that's coming out of Tank Think. Is that correct, or am I?
Yeah, I mean, this is so. Yeah, I brought this clip. It's my reel. I mean, it's like
Reel?
It's production reel, and you know, we just
Let's see. Can we pull it up here? All right, there it goes.
yeah. So this is
Wow.
like kind of about 10 years of stuff, sort of
Whoa.
compressed into a minute, and you can kind of just get a sense of like our visual style. We do a lot of music videos, a lot of documentary stuff, some medical videos, amusement park advertisements. Just kidding about that one. We work with a lot of nonprofits and community groups, and basically just you know, people that we want to get down with their messaging and their style, and
A lot of dictators.
have not worked with any of those.
No dictators?
No, not knowingly. But yeah, this is like the bread and butter, and I love doing it. I do a lot of my own cinematography, but I work with other cinematographers who are awesome.
See, I recognize a few of these people in this. At least some of the musicians.
Some good rappers, yeah. Some good bands, some good bucks.
Bango.
Yeah.
And you're blessed with a good last name. I would say for that. That
thank
name
you.
is a really smart name. Tank Think, I think.
Tank
I
Think is
tank. I tank.
it's yeah. My last name is half of that. But
So your last
yes.
name is Think?
My last name is Tank, short for Tankleford.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that Tankleford. Yeah.
Yeah.
When did-
Tankerton.
but
Ford.
Tankle.
We edit this show?
Tankerford.
Yeah.
Tank. Tankerford Think.
Yeah. Edit that in.
Yeah, this is gold, guys.
Gold. Tankerford.
That,
Tank-
have you
Tankleton.
rapped that story of the guy who touches everything and it turns to gold? You know what I'm talking about? The old
you
classic.
can't read that book anymore.
No? Why not?
Canceled.
Oh, because-
Everything. It's not good.
Right, yeah. That one scene
Yeah.
it touches the wrong thing.
Yeah. Tell that to Elmo. He can't.
Is this Elmo behind us?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
Do you do
It's
good
Elmo Tube.
Do you do a good Elmo impression?
Tube. Oh, Tube Studios. I get it.
Oh, it's an Elmo
Hey.
tube?
It's Elmo Tube. Oh gosh.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Elmo likes Tube. Tube Studio. I'll show myself up.
Oh, that's amazing, man. No, yeah, I mean, so that's a beautiful reel, and despite not working with any dictators, was usually my
I have
my
done
reference
some.
point.
I have done some like political ads though.
Okay,
Yeah.
it probably gets close.
Boy, some of these guys out here.
Mm.
You never know.
Yeah.
Never know.
You're just providing a service.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. I mean, those are beautiful scenes, by the way. And so you're saying you're doing most of the cinematography and.
Yeah. I mean, well, it depends on the shoot, but and it depends on the project, but yeah, I do a lot of my own shooting. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah. So, and you said that. I mean, how long has Tank Think been around for a while? Then you said 20.
Well, I mean, so that
personally it was 20, but
no, I mean, I kind of like some of the stuff in that video goes back, 5-10 years even, and so it's like, but I would say maybe my freelance practice, which was like before it was called Tank Think, it was just like I was a freelance filmmaker, and a lot of it while I was working a full-time job and just like freelancing on the side and stuff. And so some of that is from that era. And then some of it is from, since I've, kind of branded myself and like made it into a company where I got like an editor and some producing partners and, like we kind of are a team now, and there's, and there are other cinematographers. I don't want to make it sound like I do all the filming. But there's, we've got like a good network of like freelancers that work together.
I think I know one of them. I'm assuming from the photo, Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly Michael Anderson. He's one of our go-to guys. Really great photographer, videographer. Alvin Connors, another guy that works with us a lot, and we just like to support the community of filmmakers. We worked with a lot of people in town here, and just kind of try to boost the cultural economy here, and spread the work around when we can. And
it's awesome. Well, thanks for your leadership on that around here in these parts, because I feel like Milwaukee isn't too big of a pond, but it's big enough, and I think there's, we all have this sense of it growing, and I mean, if the real estate is any indicator, now you being part of that, but like
now that I'm a developer, yes,
but like I mean, I've talked to people.
City changes every day. Yes,
I just sit up there in my upstairs bedroom and look down at all the dog walkers.
Just read the Journal Sentinel and shake my head.
It's not like it used to be.
No.
But yeah, no. Thanks for the leadership on that, because I mean, some media and all that stuff, something I've been very interested in, as well as all the folks here at Tube Studios, music, and movies and films and TV, all that type of stuff. I think I think there's no shortage. I think the feeling that I've had, at least being in Milwaukee, is there's no shortage of talented, passionate people, but there just doesn't seem to be rails for like that real development of business and career development and business development. I think that is, like you're saying, UWM has a film, and I think that's probably the strongest one around here is their film, but there is no music business school.
Man,
there is no, you know what I mean? There is no media business. There is no, everyone just leaves because it's like, oh, well, I'm not going to get a job here. Right?
Yeah.
How would I, Chicago's right there.
Yeah.
Go to LA, right? Go to New York. But now I think that things may be changing where it's like, well, with things like ChatGPT and how we can broadcast this to so many different channels, both on yours and on Tube Studios and on mine. Call us. Anyone wants to follow me on my channels. That's on Wes, and likewise, Steven, give Wes a follow and a subscribe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
follow Cullah. He does great music.
Follow
and has an awesome podcast.
Yeah, follow me.
Do it.
Follow me to the end of the earth, or at least just to YouTube.
Yeah, and also follow me if you're not. Subscribe.
Woo! You know what? Hit the like button while you're at it. All the folks here, hit the like button. We just made some real music for you live from the 1600s.
Yeah.
Who else does this? Who else is doing that right now?
I don't know.
No one.
I mean, but I'm so excited when I see places like this coming in, and pushing this type of media content in Milwaukee, because it's like, there isn't enough of it. Like there needs to be more, and then it needs to get supported. And I love like that, people are, sponsoring this type of content, and it's all happening. And it's like we can, just support each other, and the more we can all kind of want to be doing this stuff, it's like it's just everything. The whole media landscape is just changing so much, so rapidly, and like you said, with like AI and everything coming into the game, and kind of it's almost just like everything is just kind of exponentially like moving right now.
Yeah, I mean, we can go on a whole side tangent of blockchain, but we won't do that right now. We'll just save that for another day. But alongside the AI, no doubt. All right, so we got the Washington Park Media Center. We got Tank Think. We got some Shakespeare.
We got
live Shakespeare.
Bill Shakespeare.
Bill. Oh, wait, no, that's different. Is it true?
What else we got?
Well, I was going to say the last thing we got is rural. Urban flow, and I know that's something that you're excited about talking. I think we have a video as well about rural urban. I have a hard time saying that word.
Well, before we go to that, so rural urban flow is like a coalition of artists and agriculturalists and food makers. People that care about land and people that care about art and ideas, and it's people that are in the city and people that live out in the country, and it's a way to like kind of bridge those people together by like having exchanges in the different areas, so visiting each other's landscapes essentially. And traditionally there's been so much it's like politically it's like so divided, and it's so we think of like rural areas as having more conservative leaning people, and the city is having more liberal leading people. And not to generalize that, but that's like kind of like a lot of how it seems, or that's how voting tends to go. And especially as we're heading into an election right now, locally.
April 4th, right?
Yeah, April 4th. Want to get people out to vote however they choose. But sorry about that. But like getting back to the rural urban flow, we're kind of like trying to just experience each other, like experience both places, and have people from both places experiencing both places. And I'm somebody that grew up in a rural environment, and first 18 years of my life were spent out in rural Wisconsin, and like the past 20 years I've been in Milwaukee, so I've spent more than half of my life now here out in an urban environment. And so I feel like I have like both instincts within me. And this group though is a lot of like just really awesome, like really like rock star. If you can be like a rock star like farmer or a rock star artist, and you like put these things together. We work with the people at Worm Farm Institute, and we work with Venus Williams and Alice's Garden, who's doing like major things in the urban farming world here. And like these are big time people. Elena Terry, Wildberries, just like nationally known chef who lives out in Sauk County and works with these things. And so anyways, we're launching a YouTube channel. Okay. Suffice it all to say why I'm a part of this. I kind of was brought in slowly as like the videographer, and the way I got into it was somebody was like, "Hey, would you want to come on this bus tour and film for us?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, sure." Had no idea we were leaving Milwaukee. Like we drove 2 hours to Reedsburg, and we went to this thing called the Farm Art Detour, where there was art all over the landscapes. And I was like, this is crazy. And so I'm filming, and I'm in this like bus with a bunch of people that I don't know. And it's like, we're going back to Milwaukee, right? And they're like, yeah. And we did. But it was really kind of an eye-opening thing. And ever since then, I started like going on a lot of these like trips and these different bus tours or meals that they would have at people's houses or businesses. And it was just, it's really like kind of a convening of people who care. And it's really just like a lot of cool thinkers and people that can talk and people who are a lot smarter than me, and people and I'm like, how am I even like a spokesperson for this other than I've been like a witness of it, and I've been filming all this, and we've never had like a platform. I mean, they have a Facebook and like an Instagram that people should go follow, but we just decided, like, you know what, let's start taking this content and start repurposing it and think about this from like a 2023 angle, and like let's use YouTube to grow some of these ideas and maybe even take it beyond Wisconsin and get stuff out there. And with everything that I've learned the last few years, with like the whole whirlwind of my life that has been this YouTube journey that I've taken since I uploaded some Dr. Seuss videos, I've learned a ton about like how YouTube works and how social media works, and and everybody's kind of constantly learning it. But I feel like I might have some wisdom to impart with how to create a channel. And for me as a filmmaker, it's like a challenge. Like, okay, let's make a YouTube channel now that isn't me on camera, but it's these other like rock stars who are not your typical rock stars. They're like people from these like agriculture industry and like the art industry that's maybe not like the pop art that you would see everywhere. It's like people making quilts and blankets out of clothing from farmers and from the country and people from the city. And it's a challenge for me, but I have all this footage and I want to start creating videos. And so what we did with the launch was we launched it with a video that I actually finished like in 2019. And so we're kind of like we're launching it with some videos that have already been completed, and then we're going to start making new content for it. And so so we just launched this last week. And
oh, really?
Yeah.
And where can people find that then?
It's Rural Urban Flow on YouTube and all the platforms. So we're just going to be we're dropping stuff every week, and
oh, really?
Hopefully we can keep it up and see where this goes.
Well, I mean, I love the idea personally. I've spent most of my life in suburban areas, but every summer growing up, I would go into the rural areas and help my cousins show pigs at the county fair and
Nice.
help them with their, just living on the country was just in the country and on some land where it's just emptiness and farmland and forests and stuff. It's a completely different vibe. And it's not a surprise to me, I guess, in a way where people may be, susceptible or predisposed to certain types of mindsets, which kind of are the groundwork, like you're mentioning, for different political ideologies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that a lot of media and politicians are very keenly aware of this and actually exacerbate those differences. And I think now is what people talk about, the polarization.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that comes from the lack of nuance in conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact that you can bring the rural and the urban together through creative pursuits where it's not it's not explicitly, okay, this is about this specific, or these talking points or whatever, and it's not about arguing, it's not about it's not about this like perpetuating that polarization. It's like, no, we're here experiencing each other's mindsets and thought processes, and not just that, but it sounds like experiencing the space in which people actually live.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest problem that I've experienced when I would, on both sides, when I've spent time in the country going deer hunting or whatever it is, or being in small towns in Wisconsin, and then going and talking to my friends in Denver or LA or New York when I go there, and just hearing them both talk about the other people when they have no idea what the other people's lives are like, and they have no idea what they even think, what they're about. They just generalize, and it's just and it's kind of funny to me. Like, I don't know. I always grew up luckily Wisconsin. You don't have to register with a party. We have open primaries, and so I think Wisconsin might be a good place for this, where people can. You don't have to pledge allegiance to a party, and I think the more that people know that the other people are just like them and they have the same thing and know their struggles, or know the other people, or at least just are introduced to them, right? Like, and this is a kind of an extreme example, but it shows that it's an extreme example that can show how people can become together. Is I don't know if you guys have seen. I mean, I don't know if it was on the Daily Show or for whoever it was, but there's this a long time ago. There was this famous guy. Now I can't remember the name of him. Maybe someone in the chat will know. But he was this musician, a black musician who played the blues, and he toured around, and he made it his point to collect Klansmen robes by converting them to leave the Klan. Daryl Davis? Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's his name. Daryl Davis. And he, obviously this is not as it's a little more extreme of an example, but the point of his whole mission was the only way that he could get them to do that was to sit down, have a conversation, invite them to his performances, and they would come and see him play, and then they would be like, wait, and then he would show up to their events, say what he thought. He'd be very polite. Everyone was very polite, because when you show up in person, most people are generally polite. Obviously he's not, I'm sure he has to play, he's very brave, right? What he's doing, but he had a whole closet full of these, he was able to convert so many people to leave and to change their mindsets and to actually open themselves up to different possibilities or different ideas that maybe they, they start seeing the world differently through experience and through, creativity and sharing of those experiences together. Mm-hmm. And this, obviously this is just that's an extreme. That just made me think about that, because that he was always like, no, you have to, like, why would you expect someone to listen to you if you're not going to listen to them?
Yeah.
Why would you expect anyone to take you seriously as a person that they could rely on in any nature, let alone politically? And I think that that's greatly needed. I think that that concept of bringing the rural and the urban, I think that divide is probably greater than a lot of divides, and it, like I said, is exacerbated. And like I mentioned, I experienced it. You go to one place, and I'm like a chameleon, I'll just go from one place to the next, and I just say, yeah, whatever you say, man, and just kind of like live above the conversation, because I'm not going to I don't believe, I'm not going to, there's not many hills I'm going to die on when it comes to certain, especially trending fads of talking points and culture war and stuff, but where this stuff is pretty inconsequential compared to, is that person a good person? Do they care about their neighborhood, their community, family? Do they have standards and morals that they live themselves? Are they a citizen of this great country? If that's all, then, and you disagree on some politics, chances are you're being convinced and you're being hoodwinked into not trusting your neighbor, because we're all citizens in this great country after all. So I'm very intrigued to follow the rural urban flow and start watching those videos every week.
Thanks, man. Thank you. You said it. That's a lot of the meaning there. It just needs conversation. It needs flow. It needs empathy. It needs experience. So we're just trying to take these exchanges that have been happening already with people that, there's a lot of different folks that kind of go through the flow, and they kind of come and go, and it's every time it might be different people, and it's always new people and then old people, and it's just it's really cool to see, and bringing that to sort of put it on YouTube, so it's like, and kind of just like translating it to like how does this type of thing like play on YouTube? How can we translate it to that language? And and I think the first rollout of some of the videos are sort of like before I was like thinking in a way of like retention editing or whatever, not to get into the weeds of YouTube, but like it was a little different than like what maybe the videos that will come after the first run of them, but but there's like, to me, I'm like, that stuff doesn't really matter, because I fully believe in the message that these people are doing, and so I'm kind of like, let's bring something, let's usher something new to this platform.
Yeah, I have to say, I mean, despite how powerful that polarization can be, because it is, it is built, the machine is built to do that. I think there still is that hunger for that connection, and there still is that hunger for that unity. And as things maybe continue to get crazier and crazier, I think people are going to become more desperate for that type of content, because, it's what's the alternative, right? So as creators and artists and stuff, like, it's a little bit of our responsibility, I would say.
Yeah.
And the artists and creators that may think, oh well, I don't really want to touch on certain. You don't have to be political to affect politics and change. Like, that's you don't have to go and what's the talking points of this week? Let me write a song about it. That's not necessarily, you don't have to do that. It's just getting to the deeper parts of things, right? The deeper, like, art it's a human thing. It's not there's styles, and there's politics in art too, of course. But I love that, and super intrigued to hear more about that as it goes on. You got anyone saying anything interesting there? Some comments or reactions or?
Smoky Water asks, have you heard of Beatle Bardcore? They turn modern hit songs into medieval-themed instrumentals, perfect for rapping over Shakespeare.
Wait, what is it called? Beatle
Bardcore.
Bardcore.
Yeah, I've seen those. They kind of take like a Dr. Dre beat and turn it into like a harpsichord or like medieval music.
I think I've seen that, like the clickbait of it is like, if you're a gangster minstrel or something, or I forget, like there's some funny ways where they describe that. But yeah, thanks for the question, Smoky Water Studios. Thanks for tuning in.
Additionally, got a text from my mom, and she says you have a great voice.
Oh wow!
Mom
Thanks,
approved.
Mom. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
This is Klein.
Man, I mean, moms are a big part of my audience.
Really?
I would say.
Smoky Water's a mom.
I think I can kind of rap. Generally, I rap children's books, and it's something that you can give your kid, and mom can go and have a glass of Chardonnay if she wants. So.
I mean, I read something that I think moms they're the bulk of the consumer base, I believe, in America. I think by a decent chunk.
They're the best.
So they're the gatekeepers of the.
Thank you, moms.
Yeah, thank you, moms. I mean, I love my mom. That was my first.
Thank you, Mom.
That was my first password ever. Was just I love my mom when I was like 5 years old. And my mom came up to me one time and was like,
"What was the password for?"
AOL.
When you were 5 years old, you had an AOL.
It was maybe like 6. Whenever AOL 5, maybe I think maybe.
Wow.
You guys laughing, but I think it was like 5 or 6. Yeah, it was like AOL. AOL 6.0 or some shit, like America Online.
Man.
But I mean, we had a computer too, and I had my own account, kid desk version of Mac OS 7.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember my mom came in one day freaking out, being like, "I need to know all your passwords and all this stuff." And I was like, no, this is private. I'm not going to tell you it. And then she just kept going. I just dragged it out for as long because I knew that the password was going to like melt her heart. So I just dragged it on and made her really angry. And then I told her the password, and she felt so bad. She felt so bad because I was like, "This is an invasion of privacy. Don't you trust me? Like I'm my own person. Like this is
net neutrality, Mom.
Yeah, you raised me better than this. Like like you should trust me. Like." And then the look on her face was priceless with that. But then I changed all my passwords, obviously after that. But as you get older, it's not a safe password, Although actually that might be a secure enough password. It's like a phrase is the best type of secure passwords. You want
What do you guys think Culla's password should be? Put it down in the comments.
I wish you could run polls on this restream. I know you can do that on YouTube, but anyway, yeah. So I mean that sounds great. I mean, is there anything else that you want to talk about before we start wrapping up? I mean, I'm sure we could riff about anything for a long time, but. Yeah, is there anything in particular other than the big three that we just talked? We got the Washington Park Media Center, we got the Tank Think, and we got Rural Urban Flow.
Rural Urban Fro. That's
2.0
hair design aspect of it. No, I mean I can't wait to come back to my main channel on YouTube and rap some more books and make some new originals. I have an album I could talk about a second.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time we have, but it's just I do have an album, that I finished a long time ago. I finished it before I dropped my Dr. Seuss video and my life got turned upside down. And
that was you.
And that was that was the Fresh Prince, but he got turned upside down. But
you got flipped turned right side up.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Anyway, I don't have to talk about that, but yeah, I have an album of not children's music that is like
moms. Close your ears.
Moms. Still, it's for moms only, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
But like moms, but when the kids go to bed.
Yeah. But it's actually not. I mean, I think kids might like it. It's weird, and it's not like it's like a super hardcore rap album with lots of swearing and things like that. There's no cursing on it. It's just it's a little more personal, I guess.
Yeah.
Personal.
Oh yeah, I've always stayed away from cursing too. My curses are, they're much more subconscious. Like if I'm going to be cursing someone or doing something, like if you do it explicitly, then they know that the cursing's happening. But you want to, it's got
some
innuendos, magic spells.
Yeah.
Old, like you've read enough.
Some old school cursing.
You've read some enough
like curses.
Yeah.
Like drop a curse. Like Lil B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On my curse strings.
Dang.
Yeah. I think. I mean, that could be a book you could rap as the Egyptian Book of the Dead.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really.
Because that's got a lot of nasty curses in there.
Man, that's actually where I got demigods from. So I have this song called "Demigods of the Law," which was like when I was like really going for it as like an indie rapper. I had this song called "Demigods of the Law," and it was because I was reading Tibetan Book of the Dead.
Oh, the Tibet, yeah, that's a good one too.
And I was like, yeah. Oh, sorry, you were talking Egyptian.
Yeah, no, I think I might have gotten
different.
confused. I think I might. Well, there is an Egyptian Book of the something, but I might have been, if you know what I mean. But I think the Tibetan one is the Book of the Dead. But they could.
No,
both
there's
be.
both.
They both have the Book of the Dead?
Yeah, there is both. But I was reading the Tibetan one.
That one's trippy.
And there were lots of crazy demigods. Just like basically, I don't really remember what they were, but they had all kinds of crazy names and they're really cool. And yeah, I made a rap about it. It was about it. It wasn't from it though. That was about it.
So I guess we got a little carried away after the Rural Urban Flow. I don't think we got a chance to watch that video at all.
Oh yeah, we never watched the video.
So let's see if
That's
we can.
okay. They can go to it.
Let's just play
Wanna
like
see a minute of it?
minute of it. Yeah.
All right.
Let's
Okay.
see.
Cool.
Minute of it, and we can hear your. If you want to do some sweet narration, or is there?
I'll just let the people in the video do the talking.
Okay. Oh, there's audio.
Is there? Yeah.
I'm thinking about this as if it were my own house or someone's house in a neighborhood that I was standing in. And I'm looking at the lack of limitations.
Across the United States, we tell ourselves a story. Urban centers and rural communities have become hopelessly and irrevocably split. While that relationship is damaged, in the face of our moment's deepest challenges, finding our interconnectedness has never been more crucial. In Wisconsin, a network...
So I says to the girl, I was like, "Don't even get there, man."
You said that?
I said that. I said, "Don't do."
Oh my god.
Oh,
we're back.
All right, we're back.
Oh yeah. So the video keeps going in real life.
This is a
Go
beautiful
check it
video.
out on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about that channel. I'm glad that we were able to get that in there.
Yeah.
But I think while we were on that break, we did say that there was some nice comments about some stuff or some questions. Was there a couple of comments over there?
Lognarok is letting you know that Fox and Socks has 1 million views on YouTube. Very excited for that.
Actually, yeah, that's new. So that's another million because so that's the Dr. Seuss version. Okay, so the original version had 5 million or has 5 million, and then I had to unlist it when the videos moved over to Dr. Seuss's channel, and so it's been steadily over that time. So it had to start over at 0 and still got 1 million.
Wait.
But that's just recent that I've been,
Hold up. First of all,
What?
Logan, thanks for tuning in and for asking that question. But
What's up,
wait,
Logan?
so we talking about it moving over to Dr. Seuss channel. You're saying the Dr. Seuss estate swallowed up your video?
Well, they didn't.
I'm using the word swallow.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say the estate did, but the videos,
The publishing
when they
belongs to them.
when they were really going crazy viral, I got kind of into like it was like the Seuss people reached out, the Dre people reached out, and they all had a good meeting about Wes Tank, and I was like, hey, I'm not making any money off of this or anything like that. Like I was just like for fun and stuff, and people in the pandemic were really like hungry for content like that, and it was really good for schools who were had to send their kids videos and stuff to try to keep them like in in learning something, that was somewhat valuable, but all this like tumult was happening. And so like basically the word was that like the Dr. Seuss people loved the videos, and apparently Dr. Dre liked the video, or I was told it would have just been like snuffed out essentially. So they, it was just worked out, kind of like a split or whatever. So the videos had to be unlisted off my page and moved over to the Seuss official.
Wow.
So
Well, it's not the worst thing to have your video on the official Dr. Seuss.
it's
YouTube
not the worst
channel.
thing. No.
I've heard of worse things.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It could have been much worse actually. Yeah, for sure.
Got a question from RNG True Blue 253. Dude, love your story raps. My niece watches them all the time. What made you want to do them?
Well, the original Seuss videos. It depends on if you're talking story raps, the show that happened as a result of the Dr. Seuss videos. So I originally did the Dr. Seuss videos just on a whim. I found a copy of One Fish, Two Fish in a basement before performing a show in Minneapolis, and just started rapping it randomly off of a beat that I'd never. I had heard the beat before. It was a Dr. Dre beat that I just happened to have on my phone, and I started doing that, and I started like throwing that in at shows where I was doing my own material. And people just like were really responding to it, so I kept adding to it, and then places started asking me, can I do like a full Dr. Seuss set? And so I started doing the Dr. Seuss books, like, for an hour. I would just rap Seuss, but I always kept it to Dr. Dre beats, and that was always kind of like an important
Doctor and Doctor.
Yeah, Doctor. And and so then after that, after the videos went viral, they moved to Seuss Channel. Cadoodle TV reached out, and we developed a show called Story Raps. And with that, I started writing rap versions of kids' fairy tales and little stories like that, and kind of basically taking the format of the Dr. Seuss videos and started like making our own books out of like public domain content, like that was, kind of recognizable still, but with my own spin on it. And so that was why I started both of those things. So it's kind of
makes sense. A real world example. You get feedback from a crowd. Seems to be a lot of the best. Folks, they got to get feedback from the crowd to even know what might even work, and then to see it scale too is
for sure
goes to show you.
Yeah,
goes to show you. Great question.
Yeah.
And then Lugnarok wants to know where you can find the album.
Oh yeah, so Standard Diary is the name of it. It's not out yet.
That's your Twitter handle.
That's my Twitter handle. Yeah, it's out on my Twitter, just not the song.
Just the title of the handle.
Yeah, and that's an album I actually like started recording it like in 2013, and sort of like dabbled in continuing to work on it over the years, and in like 2017, 18-ish, started like adding more instrumentation to it. Worked with Josh Evert at Silver City Studios, shout out. And
shouts out to him.
Got Barry Paul Clark on it, got Devin Drobka, the homie Jason Nana's on it. We basically just like kind of turned what was like this skeleton of a thing where it was mostly just vocals. It was like a lot, like many tracks of vocals, these songs and it was all written in this one notebook that said Standard Diary on it, and so I just called it that. And just kind of built the music around the vocals as opposed to normally make a beat and rap on it kind of thing. It was like kind of the opposite of that.
I get that.
Starting from the vocals.
That's how I compose my music, is usually vocals or melody first. But yeah, nice. Shouts out to Josh Evert. Helped track and engineer a song called The King on my last album.
Nice.
Which Tube Studios and I are working on. We just had a little music video meeting before you came too, making a little music video out of it. So
for that song,
for The King, yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so. Shout out Josh Evert. You got to get him on here.
Oh, that's a great suggestion.
Oh, yeah. He's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And a freaking genius.
The first time I interacted with him was just nonstop back and forth, and it was like, who's gonna crack first? And it was.
He will take a bit to the ends of the earth. He will not. His humor is very dry.
It was really fun. I was super invigorated by it. It was just like started making my creative juices flow like crazy, because you have to come up with something. You have to come up with something, right? You got to come up with something ridiculous. You got to make the other person break, like, and make them laugh and say the most ridiculous shit, which is super. It's so fun. Yeah, and great to work with in the studio.
Oh man.
And lovely space there in Silver City.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely recommend it to all any recording artist in Milwaukee area or other. If anyone wants to come travel, it's worth it.
They're actually a neighbor to the media center.
Oh, is that close to?
Well,
Washington
it used
Park?
to be in Silver City, and now it moved, and it's in
Yeah,
in Washington Heights, but they kept the name, and so it's on Fleet Street, maybe like 10 blocks away from us.
I was in the old one once, helping. Well, my buddy Graham Hunt was at the early stages of the Silver City. He was there for a little bit, briefly, and so we got to. Some of my buddies were recording an album, and I kind of helped them do some of the tracking and stuff there, and then I did some mixing afterwards and stuff for them, and that in Silver City, and then we moved. Then he moved to Washington Heights, and then just last year that's where we recorded it there. But I didn't realize it's that close to the Washington.
It's really close.
Park. Yeah, I've never played Washington Park, but gonna be playing there in August.
Oh, you're gonna play Washington Park Wednesdays?
I mean, I don't think it's been officially announced, but
cool.
It's one of those dates. I think it's in August.
Nice.
So, and
that's great.
Yeah, we're doing our.
Love those guys.
We're gonna have a great bill, if everything works out well. Very. An operatic bill.
Which because Washington Park Wednesdays does themes. So which theme night are you on?
I think it's the badass motherfucker night.
Whoa!
Can I say that?
It's your podcast.
No, I actually didn't know that there was themes. I didn't know.
Oh, really? Oh, maybe
that's not an actual theme.
Yeah, maybe it is Banff night. So
I think it's Banff. But no, it might be. Actually, I have to ask now. I'm gonna have to ask. I don't know what the theme is because
we do a lot of work when that would have been a good one to show. But we just finished their 2022 recap of there. So I've filmed almost every Washington Park Wednesday show of the last few years.
Well, I'll maybe see you out there then.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be around.
Any other? We got a comment? Come on.
Wishborn says, been a big fan of Wes for years, even before moving to Wisconsin.
Oh, wow. That's Glenn. That's homie Glenn.
And then we'll take one last question. It's from Lognarok. Wants to know, Wes, do Dr. Seuss lyrics ever get tiring? Do you know them all by heart now?
I know Fox and Socks almost by heart. I can do it. I can definitely do almost the whole thing. And I will not do it correctly because there's so many tongue twisters in it. But I can kind of like work my way through it. Yeah, they'd get very tiring. And when I was doing shows at Bookworm Gardens, they would have me do multiple. They would have me do 2, I think, hour sets, like in one night.
Wow.
And like I would do the same set twice, and I would just go through like. And at that time, now I rap more than just. I mean, I always rapped more than just Seuss, but like now I rap like a lot of different children's books and kind of like spread the love a little bit when I'm performing, those books, because there's a lot of good books out there. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, they do get tiring.
Yeah, I'd mention anything. I mean, I could, doing the same thing over and over for a while. But I'm sure you come up with different ways to make them somewhat interesting, right? To yourself, or no?
Yeah, I never do it the same way twice, really.
Yeah.
I kind of like, I mean, I probably do, but I kind of like I can, play with the inflections of my voice. And
because once you know it enough and it's totally like deep in there, then that's when the fun starts, right? That's when you can actually like play with it.
Yeah. I mean, there's and when I did those videos, man, I did like so many takes, especially of the first one, Fox and Socks. It was probably like 30 takes or so, and it was multiple, and that was deep pandemic, like, OG pandemic. That was like where like we just like really had nothing to do, and so I was just I kept doing like I would do like 5 takes. Upload it all on my computer, go back, like watch all the takes and be like, nah, I didn't get it. And I go back and I do like 5 more, and then I'd like come back and be like, nah, I got spaghetti on my face. And then hashtag
the lighting's off.
release the spaghetti sauce cut.
Yeah, I mean,
It's trending.
I'd say if it's not trending, it should be, because
Yeah.
I would love to see. I mean, you eating some spaghetti, talking like rapping
Sometimes
on top of spaghetti.
Sometimes I controversially eat on camera during rap practice because it's so long.
Right.
I have to have a meal, and
Big streamers will do that.
man, big streamers, you know. How big? I'm just kidding.
Big. Like pot of spaghetti big. Like meat,
Dang.
like lamb and beef meatball big.
Dang. I need that in my life. Spaghetti.
Get at me.
Right now, spaghetti. Shout out spaghetti. It's up their Instagram.
Put a poll. Do we like spaghetti? Yes or no? Should Wes eat a bowl of spaghetti right now?
Man, I would love both. Yeah, no, eating on
I
camera.
think it's time for dinner, right?
I feel like eating on camera is like frowned upon in podcasts, but I was just doing it for a long time, and I will do it every once in a while. I found out they like it more when I'm eating like spicy foods, and I'll wrap stuff while eating. It's very I'm for the kids. I think the kids like it.
Yeah, they're like,
They like
haha,
it,
that guy's struggling. Haha, that's funny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, it's so hot.
Yeah. Yeah. One time I was eating, I was like rapping with seeing how many cheese balls I could have, like be chewing on while rapping.
Wow.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
And there was a big debate in the comments. Some people telling me to stop because it was dangerous. And some people telling me to keep going, and we even had like a little bit of a tip war going on. So like $5 to stop, $10 to keep going.
Wow.
Everybody wins, including me.
This is the future of YouTube, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah,
paying Wes
Super
to
chat.
eat or not eat.
paying me to eat is bad. Yeah.
Well, hey man, this has been a really, really pleasurable conversation.
It's been a blast.
And I think, I speak for everyone here at Tube Studios as well, that we're at, like, to thank you for coming and sharing a little bit of your story and some of your humor and some of your all the amazing things that you're doing as a leader in space here in Milwaukee.
Thank you.
And we all appreciate that, no doubt, and excited to see where things are going. And just thanks so much, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Thanks for having me here to Tube Studios.
Of course.
It's a cool spot. I dig it.
Of course. Yeah, so I mean, everyone who hasn't, at least on that's watching here on Tube or my channel like Cullub, give Wes a follow on YouTube because he's gonna be posting stuff again shortly here, but also Rural Urban Flow. That's the one to follow. Rural Urban Flow, right? And for those folks who are on Wes's side, come over to Tube Studios, come over to Culla. It's youtube.com/Culla, or you just go to Culla.com. There's all the links there. I got Spotify, got Facebook, got Instagrams, all those types of things. We'd love to have a conversation, love to chat. Also give another shout out to System Seltzer for offering some hydration for Wes. He was pretty parched when he came here.
I was.
And the only thing that he wanted was some 5% naturally gluten-free electrolyte fueled seltzer.
Get the system in your system.
Oh man. All right, we'll clip that up and send it to System Seltzer. All right, well, thanks, man. And everyone, you guys at home, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for giving us your comments and participating in this conversation. We all appreciate you. And have a good rest of your night or morning. For those folks over, Stephen, if you're still awake, I don't know why you stay up this late in Germany. You should go to bed. But anyway, thanks everybody.
Thank
Come
you.
back next time. Appreciate it.
See you on the flip side.